Hello and welcome to Around Edinburg CISD with the Superintendent. I'm Lisa Ayala with Edinburg CISD Public Relations, and I'm joined, of course, by Dr. Mario Salinas, Superintendent of Schools. And in this episode, we're going to talk about one of the foundational principles that we have for the district, really, but that you brought in when you came in as Superintendent, and that is interrupting the cycle of poverty. Can you talk a little bit about that, sir?
I can, but before I go there, I do want to talk about the tax ratification election that happened this week. It passed.
Yes.
The community overwhelmingly supported it. The proposition passed by almost 1,000 votes, so it was a lot of support from our community. And I just want to say thank you to the community, thank you to our voters that voted for the passage of this proposition. It's a mark of confidence, I believe, from the community to our school district, in that they're confident that what we're trying to do is a good thing for our students and for our community and for Edinburg in general.
Absolutely.
Now, the poverty in the Rio Grande Valley is prevalent. It's significant families that live in poverty.
Yes.
We probably are the most impoverished region, not only in the state of Texas, probably the whole United States of America.
Right.
And one of our main missions as an organization, as you and I have been talking about for 3 years, is to interrupt the cycle of poverty. We want our children to graduate from our schools and to thrive as adults.
Yes.
And it's a well-known fact that the tool to interrupt the cycle of poverty is high-quality education through high-quality teaching and high-quality schools. And our main mission number one, is to provide an environment where our children are exposed to quality teaching, quality learning environments, and in the end, they break out of the cycle of poverty.
That's right.
What does the cycle of poverty mean? The cycle of poverty mean, if you look it up, poverty begets poverty. It's a social phenomena where child born into poverty, the research will tell you, has a high degree of chance that lands back in poverty. So how do we interrupt that? We propose that we interrupt that through a good, high-quality education.
And the way that you've gone about doing that really has been about these programs, a number of programs, and hiring high-quality teachers. That's been another huge mission of yours as well, of ours, really, the district.
Priority number one for us, from the get-go of me becoming the superintendent of this school district, is to have the highest paid teachers.
Yeah.
When I came in here 3 years ago, we were number 12 in the valley.
That I didn't know.
Number 12.
Wow.
And so the board, along with myself, we were determined that no, we're gonna pay our teachers the very best. And as we speak today, right now, our teachers are the highest paid in the valley. And so we feel that if we want to keep good teachers and attract good teachers, high quality teachers, we need to pay.
That's right.
If you pay, they will come. And that's our priority, because it doesn't make any, you can bring the children to school, but if we don't have good high quality teaching going on, then that doesn't help.
No.
And so priority number one is to have good staff.
Right.
To have competitive salaries so we can have good staff, staffing our schools, staffing our school district.
Correct.
And so that is a priority. We feel that is a priority number one in our arrow number one in our fight to interrupt the cycle of poverty.
And also, you were the first one, or the district was to pay minimum wage at top dollar, which was $15 at the time, and I believe it still is.
Right. 3 years ago, we were paying minimum wage $7, $8 an hour.
That's right.
And a lot of these employees that were getting paid these wages have children in our schools. So how can they survive at $8 an hour?
I remember you talking about that. We talked about that.
It's not survivable if you have children. It's not survivable if you're single and just trying to sustain yourself. And so we made it a priority that everybody that works in our school district is going to get paid a minimum of $15 an hour, regardless of what is it that you do. Whether you have 1 day experience or if you're going to be cleaning our room for teachers, you're going to get paid at least $15 an hour. If you're going to be preparing meals for breakfast or for lunch, you're going to get paid at least $15 an hour. So yes, that also was an initiative of ours to staff our facilities with good people.
And I think we're still leading. I think there's still other municipalities and other districts that still
there are
have
some municipalities that are joining the same effort. I think the city of Edinburgh just recently upped their minimum wage to $15 an hour. I believe Brownsville ISD last summer upped their minimum pay scale to $15 an hour. There's very few government entities out there because minimum wage is $7.25.
That's right.
That are paying $15. But we led the way, and more people in the government business are joining on board.
Which is another reason why Edinburgh CISD honestly has set the pace in many, many ways, and interrupting the cycle of poverty has been the mission that's driven all of that.
Main mission.
Absolutely.
We want our children to thrive like we want our own biological children. I want my children, my own blood, to graduate from school and thrive as adults. I want that for all children.
Of course. And another way that we've talked about interrupting the cycle of poverty is some of the programs and initiatives that you really brought in and the district has implemented in the last 3 years. And one of those is our Pre-K3, Pre-K4 program. Correct. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. All the research will tell you that a good, high quality early childhood education leads to fruitful results. Children that are exposed to high quality early childhood programs will more likely than not be fluent readers in third grade, graduate from high school, and the chances of these children that get exposed to high quality early childhood education will graduate from college or higher. Right. What have we done? We hired a director for early childhood programs to help principals with strategies, with resources, etc. Then a supervisor to make sure that we have high quality classrooms. Right. In the Pre-K3, Pre-K4, Kinder first and second. Right. That we've done that. We opened the door for 3-year-olds. Three-year-olds. For any 3-year-old out there that 3 on September 1. Correct. We open the doors to them. It's a brand new program for Edinburgh. You know, it's historic when we got a director, historic when we got a supervisor, historic when we opened the doors for 3-year-olds.
And tell us why that exactly, and it was never done before.
And for all families.
Right. They had to either be very, very low income.
4-year-olds, all families. Right. It used to be that since before I became superintendent, to qualify for a 4-year-old program, the child has to be what the Texas Education recognizes as economically deprived. Economically disadvantaged, that's what they call them. Or language limited. Right. So we said, we're going to open it up to all families. Everybody pays taxes. That's right. Everybody pays taxes. Let's open it up. It's going to help us in the end. In the long run, it's going to help to invite all children, 4 or 3. Right. We opened it up for 3-year-olds. Brand new program for us in Edinburgh. It was rough at the beginning, our teachers adjusting to 3-year-olds. It's not daycare, it's learning environment. I was at La Viña yesterday. It's week number 12, more or less. There was a 3-year-old reading. I forget the name of the child. What was his name? Juan, or I forget his name, but a 3-year-old.
How about that?
Reading. Yeah. Tiny little boy like this. You were reading? 12 weeks into the year. So research will tell you,
Yes.
you put a child in a 3-year-old, start them 1 year ahead as a 3-year-old in a high quality environment. What do you mean by that? Like high quality teacher, certified and bona fide,
Right.
with an aid, certified. The probabilities of that child graduating from college are higher.
Yes.
Right? Just makes sense, right?
Yes, they're like little sponges.
There's no research needed. I mean, you can just imagine.
Right.
You get 1 year head start with a formal education, high quality teachers, high quality environment. That child, the chances are better to graduate from college if he does not if versus a child that doesn't have that.
That's right.
Right? That makes sense.
Absolutely.
And so we've really invested significant resources to improve our 3-year-old program. Another arrow that we feel is used to fight poverty.
Absolutely, and I think that before, like with my own children back when they were younger, I paid for that. I wanted them in school. I wanted them learning.
Yes,
I knew
correct.
that we knew that education is the way, and we want
the
them
way.
As early as possible. But we had to pay for that, and it's
Education
expensive.
is the way. I like that. I'm
Yeah.
going to coin that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Education is the way.
Absolutely. And so, but we don't have to pay for it. These parents don't have to pay for it. It is free,
It's free.
full day, and they get
Full
the
day.
highest quality
Why?
education.
Because these children are in all probability, going to stay with us, and they're going to thrive in our system.
That's right.
That's why we want them there.
And there's magic happening in those
The
classrooms.
magic happens. You've seen it. I've seen
Yes.
it. It's magic. 3-year-olds,
that.
4-year-olds behind a quality teacher. Magic's happening. The little brains are buzzing and
Yeah.
absorbing everything.
Yeah, it's really something. So, and another one of the programs that is very, very important is after-school programs. You knew that was going to be incredibly important for these students, for them.
I believe highly in after-school programs. It's just an additional 1 hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes that the child is exposed to a high-quality environment.
Yeah.
And you do the math. You add. At the end of the week, it's 5 hours. At the end of the month, it's 20 hours. At the end of the year, it's hundreds of hours that the student is going to be exposed to a high-quality environment, the intimate environment, small student-teacher ratios with teachers leading the way, exposed to more rigorous instruction, exposed to activities that will teach them soft skills, as you like to call them. People are not born with the ability to interact with just anybody.
Right.
It's a learned skill.
Absolutely.
They experience failure, they learn to overcome that. They work in activities that require teamwork. That is not, you're not born with that.
No.
It's a learned skill to communicate with others for a common purpose.
That's right.
So I am a believer of after-school programs to the third degree. I think they're just as important as learning how to read, how to do mathematics, and how to write.
Right. And I want to say that we have after-school programs for 3-year-olds with this K-3, from 3-year-olds all the way to 12th grade, of course, right? But for 3-year-olds, it's enrichment, and it's something different every single day. So it's dance, or it's, just in having fun, and they enjoy the class.
That separates us from the experimental schools that are in our community. And I say experimental because that's what they are.
Yeah.
They call them charters, I call them experimental. That's what they are. They're experimenting with other families, other children. We've been around for 100 years. We're not experimental. We know what we're doing.
That's right.
We've produced highly successful adults that thrive. That separates us from those schools.
That's right.
Those after-school programs, the fine arts program, the athletic program. You've been there. We've done that.
Right.
They cannot offer that. We do. There's a lot of value
Yes.
with that. I have my own personal children, and I tell them, you're coming home after school, pick something. One does band, the other one does sports. Do something, and then they do theater arts, and the other one does mathematics. So you're not coming home.
That's right.
Because I want them to thrive.
Yep.
And the skills that they learn after school, those soft skills that you talk about, we may not teach them in the classroom,
That's
but
right.
we'll teach them after school.
Right. And that value added, to their everyday life and what they do.
Extra time spent with a teacher after school in a slow student-teacher ratio environment. I am sold on that 100%.
Absolutely. And these are just a couple of programs that
Yeah, we didn't finish this discussion. We'll continue it the next time, but those are some of the arrows that we use to interrupt the cycle of poverty here in Edinburg.
All right. Okay. Well, that'll do it for this episode. We look forward to seeing you next time.